What's up, family? Andre here. Yesterday, it was announced that President Biden and Congress had reached a deal on his massive infrastructure bill. This infrastructure bill was a part of a broader America Jobs Plan, and on today's episode, we're going to review the details of the infrastructure plan, the costs associated with the infrastructure plan, as well as what it means to you and your money. But before we get started, to continue to help with the algorithm for this channel, please don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscriber button, as well as the bell next to it to get updated weekly content. Over the last several days, there has been a lot of discussion around the negotiation between President Biden and Congress regarding his infrastructure plan. When originally proposed, the infrastructure plan was going to cost about $1.9 trillion. So let's review exactly what is in the infrastructure plan. A large majority of the infrastructure plan focuses on energy and infrastructure, with a goal of achieving net zero emissions by 2050, while simultaneously investing heavily in roads, bridges, green spaces, water, electricity, and universal broadband. The bill proposes to generate new jobs by offering tax credits to corporations to expand their domestic footprint and bring back jobs to the United States, penalizing corporations that manufacture products overseas and bring them back to the United States to sell. Additional job-related relief for families and communities will come from small businesses, and communities would come from providing aid to state, local, and tribal governments to ensure that educators, firefighters, and other essential workers would not be laid off. Extending unemployment insurance to help out those families and workers who are still currently laid off. Providing financial relief for Main Street, which includes businesses and entrepreneurs to be able to hire and maintain workers to ensure a stable labor force. Hiring and maintaining a separate workforce that is solely dedicated to battling the pandemic through a new public health job corps. There also is a national mobilization effort that will pull together industries focused in 4 key areas: ensuring and maintaining a Made in America future that creates and maintains jobs within that specific industry, building a much more modern infrastructure, and a clean energy industry that is focused on sustainable clean energy and creating millions of jobs. Building a 21st century caregiving and education labor force that alleviates pay and provides opportunities for caregivers and teachers, and thus freeing up millions of individuals to join the labor force. Advancing racial equity in America by continuing to work to close the wealth gap in many of the minority communities. Also being able to invest in those communities as well as entrepreneurs in the Black, Latino, and Native American communities. There is also the social contract that is a part of the infrastructure and economic jobs plan, and that would include a $15 per hour minimum wage, ending the tip minimum wage and sub-minimum wage for persons with disability, and providing stronger benefits for workers. Passing the Protecting the Right to Organize Act, which allows for individuals and workers to be able to organize effectively and create unions within specific industries. Passing the Paycheck Fairness Act to ensure that women across all industries are paid equal pay for equal work. Passing universal paid sick days as well as 12 weeks of paid medical and family leave. Providing a public health care option and being able to lower the cost for care as well as prescription drugs. Biden's infrastructure plan is broken down into several main areas. A lot of it focused on investing in roads, bridges, as well as a number of the key areas of infrastructure within the United States. So some of those details and areas that this infrastructure plan focuses on are transportation, more specifically, the repairing and building of roads, bridges, and including smart roads that use sensors to provide better efficiency and safety for travelers across these mediums. Increasing the Army Corps of Engineers funding, high-speed rail communities that reduce pollution, slash commuter times, and spur additional investments into newly connected communities. improvement in multiple transit systems, including light rail, improved bus systems, and the utilization of technology through micro-mobility devices such as e-scooters and bicycles. An enhanced federal procurement system for products and services made by American workers, from products including medical devices to steel to clean energy vehicles. Additional R&D funding going towards creation and enhancement of 5G technology, artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and clean and efficient products as well as vehicles. Moreover, there is a goal within this bill to have 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations across the country, building of new battery storage and transmission infrastructure, next generation electric transmission and distribution grid systems across the United States, increased R&D technology that not only allows for the capture of carbon, but also to be able to permanently capture that and then turn around and sequester and utilize that carbon for other energy sources, providing access to green hydrogen for the same cost as conventional hydrogen, continual investment in repair of the decaying infrastructure across the United States, which would include water pipelines and sewer systems, replacement of lead service pipes, upgrading of water treatment plants, integration of key efficient and water quality monitoring technologies, protecting watershed and clean water infrastructure from both man-made and natural disasters. Other key parts of the infrastructure bill include a national broadband system that provides universal, reliable, and affordable high-speed internet access to all Americans, upgrading of 4 million buildings and weatherizing of 2 million homes over the next 4 years, energy upgrades for numerous homes, offices, warehouses, and public buildings across the country, direct-to-consumer cash rebates and low-cost financing offered to consumers to be able to incentivize them to install energy-efficient appliances, energy-efficient windows, as well as other areas to be able to cut their residential energy bill, modernizing schools and early learning facilities to be able to be in line with the Rebuild America Schools Act, building and constructing 1.5 million homes and public housing units to address the affordable housing crisis. A lot of key details that are in the Infrastructure and Economic Jobs Plan proposed by President Biden. Let's attach dollar amounts to each one of those categories so that you understand the potential total cost of funding the full plan. For transportation alone, the bill proposes spending of $900 billion. For the Made in America portion of the infrastructure bill, the proposal is $700 billion. For the clean energy portion of the infrastructure bill, the proposal is $490 billion. And for other miscellaneous infrastructure, the proposed bill is $300 billion. President Biden's choice of funding to pay for this massive infrastructure and economic bill is reversing many of the tax cuts under President Trump for corporations and individuals making more than $400,000 per year. More importantly, President Biden is counting on the creation of millions of new jobs, as well as the United States getting back to near full employment to be able to help foot the remainder of the economic bill. Even when you factor in the robust projections of full employment for the United States workforce and the creation of millions of jobs under President Biden's plan, Moody's projects that the total deficit will increase by $2.6 trillion on a dynamic basis. The key takeaway from the proposed President Biden infrastructure and economic plan is just that, it's proposed. These negotiations are ongoing between Congress and President Biden. Once the final bill is finally signed into law, we will review exactly what the key details are of the bill in comparison to what's been proposed, so that you have a very clear and full understanding of how this new economic and infrastructure plan will impact you and your money. And that is it. Hopefully now you have a better understanding of the key provisions of the proposed infrastructure and economic plan under President Biden. But before you go, please, to help with that algorithm, don't forget to smash that like button and hit the subscriber button as well as the bell next to it to get updated weekly content. Thank you for tuning in.